Train of Terror by Ginelle Viray and Makenah Biscoe. Samuel Lincoln Clemens, also known as Mark Twain, was born on November 30th, 1835 in Florida, Missouri. In 1847, Mark's father died. His family soon suffered many years of economic struggle. To make ends meet, Mark got a job as a printer, occasional writer, and editor at Hannibal Western Union. Mark married 24-year-old Olivia Langdon in 1870. Together they had 3 children. The first child, Langdon, died of a premature birth. Olivia suffered many health problems throughout her life, which led to her death on June 5, 1904 in Florence, Italy, at age 58 when she died of heart failure. Twain dealt with a period of depression which began in 1896 when his daughter Susie died of meningitis. Olivia's death in 1904 deepened his depression. On May 20, 1909, his close friend Henry died. He accurately predicted his death, which occurred on April 21, 1910, in Redding, Connecticut, when he died of a heart attack.
In the 1860s, a number of railroad developments came into being. 4 years after the Civil War ended, the Union Pacific Railroad line was connected to the Central Pacific Line, which led to the world's largest railroad. 8 years later, in 1877, when Twain wrote The Invalid Story, railroads in the United States were in their golden age, and trains were the dominant mode of transportation for both people and goods.
The narrator arrives home in Cleveland, Ohio, and learns of the recent death of his friend John B. Hackett. Hackett's last wishes were for the narrator to leave for the train station to take Hackett's body back to his parents in Bethlehem, Wisconsin. The narrator finds a box at the train station that matches the description of the coffin. He attaches the address card from Hackett's father, Deacon Levi Hackett, to the box and has it loaded into the train on the express car. The narrator leaves to get food and cigars, and when he comes back to the area where he had first found the box, a young man is tacking an address card onto an identical box. The narrator lets the reader know that the boxes are labeled wrong. The first box, which the narrator assumes is the corpse of his friend, is actually a box of guns that is meant to go to Illinois. The second box, which the young man assumes contains the guns, actually is John Hackett's corpse. Right before the train takes off, a stranger comes into the express car for a moment and places a package of ripe Limburger cheese on top of the box. Thompson, the expressman, starts to seal the car against the winter storm that rages outside so that he and the narrator can keep warm. The ripe cheese also starts to get warm and begins to smell. The narrator notices it first and mistakes it for Hackett's corpse. When the train pulls away from the next train station, Thompson comes back into the express car with carbolic acid. Carbolic acid is a poisonous chemical commonly used as a disinfectant to get rid of the smell. Thompson and the narrator decide to spend the rest of the trip out on the platform, even though this will probably lead to their death of typhoid fever. An hour later, at the next train station, the frozen expressman and narrator are removed from the platform, and the narrator is violently ill for 3 weeks. It is at this point that he finds out about the box of guns and the ripe cheese. At the end of the story, the narrator, once again, explains what the fateful trip did to his health and that he's going home to die.
Cannibalism in the cars is a dark and disturbing vision of America. For example, economic crisis and failure to provide efficient and affordable health care. The theme of the story lies in the uses to which the political forms are corrupted, though it implements various techniques to convey the humor of the story.
Cannibalism in the cars is about two men at a train stop exchanging conversation with each other when one of the men overhears a conversation that others are having, and it reminds him of a past experience. The story begins of a train ride that he took a while back, and it was all a good time until they hit a snowdrift. The snow took the train completely to a stop. They could tell they weren't going anywhere for a while and were worrying about starving. They decide to resort to cannibalism, eating about 12 men in the process, all elected by majority of the others. They form a committee to select who must be sacrificed. After each meal, a new nomination was made. At the end of the story, one passenger, who was stunned about the story that he just heard, asked the conductor who that man was, and turns out he was an old congressman. But after his train got stuck in the snowdrift, he went crazy for a couple of months. Therefore, this story of cannibalism was an exaggeration of the truth.